Welcome to the HPCA webinar. Our presenter today is Joss Henry-Shaw from NHS England, who is also working with us at HPCA. You'll be hearing today about the change management related offerings of HPCA, about the groups and networks and the resources that you can access for free as a subscriber. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. A link's going to be put in the chat, and that gives you access to any other resources that we have available through HPCA, and it also means that we're able to get in touch with you going forward to share anything that comes up in this webinar and about future events that are happening. So I'll hand over to Joss now. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Thanks very much, Tara. Just a quick query from me before we start. I don't know if I can share my slides.
You should be able to. Let me just check the meeting options. While I'm just doing this, if anybody wants to connect with each other throughout this webinar, please feel free to put your details in the chat, your LinkedIn's if you want to. I'm just looking at this, if anyone can now.
I've started it out now.
There you go. Thanks, Helen. So you should be able to share your slides now.
Here we are. Thank you very much. Lovely to have you all join us this afternoon. Thank you very much. For those of you who, sorry, apologies, turn that off. For those of you I've not met before, I'm Jocelyn Henry-Shaw. As Tara has already mentioned, I do work for NHS England as a corporate portfolio change manager. And I've also been in work for the HPCA as I was with the team right from its initiation back when it was the NHS Project Profession Programme. So I work with the team on change and community development. So the webinar today is focusing on the change management offerings from the HPCA. So that's incorporating all of the kind of resources we can signpost you to that we're aware of, which we add to all the time as we come across them. And also a little on the side also about how we can work with our corporate members also. Just to kick us off before I get into the main presentation, I just wanted to do a quick poll with you all just to find out kind of who is already signed up to our online community of practice, as that's going to feature primarily in the presentation as we have for the change management specific interest group within the community. So if we can pop that poll up for people, then I can just gauge kind of how many people are already within there. And there'll also be a sign up link popped in the chat. So if you're not already a member of the online community, please do get yourselves in there. There's a vast array of information, again, signpost links, ways to connect, etc. So I'll just leave that up for a few seconds. Hopefully you can all see that on your screens now. Okay. It looks like I may be speaking to a lot of people who are not already signed up. This is not necessarily a bad thing because we're here all the time to remind you that it's there. So again, if you look out for the sign up link within the chat, as I say, please do get yourselves in there. If you have any questions about the community, please don't hesitate to get in touch, and we're happy to help you out there. Okay. So I just wanted to kick off by giving you a snapshot of our overarching offering from the HPCA. So there's a number of different kind of platforms, different resource types that we offer, and ultimately they're captured on this slide here. We're trying to group them together So we're going to talk about the community of practice. So I'll go into that in a bit more detail later on. As a subscriber, you will receive a monthly HPCA Pulse bulletin. The website is kind of like the main hub of information. So there you will find kind of everything you need to know. So you'll be signposted to different areas of the website, and also there'll be the hub going forward for those corporate members. We've got a vast array of education and training resources. So everything from our capability framework to the competency assessment tool. Professional development, we're talking about kind of coaching, mentoring, opportunities and information. So everything is wrapped up with the EDI, so Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. So we have a specific interest group for that as well. Social media, always encouraging people to look out for those, to join those groups. So LinkedIn, Twitter specifically. So please like, share, etc. We've got various webinars and presentations like this one today, for example. There's another couple that you'll hear about at the end coming up soon, and they're all free. So please do join. And the regional networks. So that's just an opportunity for you to connect with peers from different NHS organisations within your region. And again, I love the saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. So that's, again, another platform that we encourage you to get involved with, to connect, share, collaborate, etc. Okay. So a little bit of background for those who are unaware of the Project and Change community. So it is on the Knowledge Hub platform, which hosts a very, very large number of kind of public sector groups. So we have our own kind of private area, if you like. So the initial community launched back in 2016, and that's completely flown by, to be honest. A lot has happened and a lot has changed since then. So when it first launched, it was the Healthcare Project and Delivery community. And that was part of the NHS Project Profession community. And as that work has kind of grown and evolved, and since the evolution and the launch of the Healthcare Project and Change Association, we've also updated the title of the community, and that is now the Healthcare Project and Change community. So encompassing everybody, not only who already works within the project and change kind of professions, but those who have an interest and those who obviously work with those who do work in them disciplines and sectors. So admittedly, we kind of went out with a big bang approach. It was very exciting to get this set up. It was a decision made on the Healthcare Heads of Profession meeting, where it was decided that we needed some sort of platform whereby colleagues across the full NHS landscape could come together, could share challenges, problems, share documentation, kind of signpost links, and just ultimately create that network of people to work better, to collaborate and deliver more successfully. We must admit we did go too big too soon. So since then, we have gone through a number of kind of iterations and changes within the community. We've stripped back on the number of specific interest groups. Believe it or not, it's harder to kind of run and manage a community of that size. So we've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and we've always found it important as well to reach out to community members to get your insights, your feedback, because ultimately it's for you. It's also kind of run by members for members. So please, if you ever do have any kind of thoughts, comments, feedback, it is really valuable. So please do let us know. The platform itself, so as I said, it's on the Knowledge Hub platform, which is free for you to go on. So there are other groups that you may be interested in joining also. The platform itself has gone through a number of kind of iterations and improvements because they wanted it to make it a lot more user friendly. So when you think about platforms such as Facebook and LinkedIn, it's that kind of clean interface whereby you can do what you need to do in a limited number of clicks. So I don't have to kind of drill down to get to what I'm looking for. you can click on the like, so the thumbs up button, and it's just that kind of quick interaction, get what you need, and move on to the next thing. So we do now have over 1,000 members, which is fantastic, and it continues to grow. So again, if you're not in there, get yourselves in there. And the change management SIG, so the specific interest group, is just one of a number of SIGs within there. So apart from the capability development group, which I believe is still the largest group within there, I think the change management SIG is the second largest. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more information about that particular group. So we have over 200 members currently in there. And again, we still get people joining all of the time. So when a new member joins, they should get a personal message sent by myself, obviously just as a little welcome, and signposting you straight away to something that you may find of interest. As I've mentioned before, it's really important for us to get feedback and insights from members. So I decided to put a live poll in that group, which still exists. So I leave it there for any new members coming in. And that helps us kind of determine what you would find most valuable and where you get the most benefits from. So whether that's finding out just more general information about what change management is, what it isn't, or whether you'd like to find out what tools exist, what frameworks, etc., or whether it's just wanting to connect with other people who work within that discipline, who can help you. It's not just myself as a group facilitator who can start discussions in there. I really would like to encourage members to start their own discussions. Going forward, I think we hope to kind of develop some short, snappy videos to take you through kind of step by step how to do such things. So if there are any things you come across and think, well, I don't know how to do that, please do drop me an email, let me know, and we can obviously respond to that in a way which we see fit for yourself and for other members. So that might be, how do I upload a document? How do I upload my profile? How do I start a discussion, etc. One of the existing threads in that particular group is already about introducing yourself. I think it's really important that you get to know the other members within the group. So you might have similar interests, similar needs, similar objectives, etc. And just a case of introducing your name, where you work, what your current job is. Maybe there's a particular piece of work that you're currently tackling, or there's a particular challenge or a problem or a hurdle that you've come across, and you think, actually, it'd be really helpful to find out if somebody's already kind of done the same thing or had the same experience. So again, it's all about that sharing, that learning. And that brings me to my last point on this slide. So I love a little catchphrase. It's all about the 3 words as well, isn't it? Making it memorable. So as I've said, it's that learning. So we learn for ourselves, which will ultimately benefit our roles, our teams, and what we're trying to successfully deliver. Sharing, we're continually trying to break down those silos. Why do we keep things to ourselves where we can help ourselves, our teams, and that connections? I think building your own kind of personal networks and connections is always beneficial. It's that kind of sounding board, that group of people you can always reach out to say, actually, I'll see if I can, see if they've done it, see if they know. They're always happy to help. And there are plenty of people out there who are always willing to help. So please don't hesitate. Just reach out, ask the question, and see what responses you get. So just wanted to give you a little snapshot of what the kind of homepage looked like within the change management SIG. You'll find these all have a similar setup within all of the specific interest groups in the community. So there'll be the recent activities, and that will show kind of who's been doing what within the group recently. So you'll find for myself, for example, I've I'm always coming across events that I want to share with people, and the majority of those are free. So again, I'll point you in that direction, and please do take a look. They're coming up all the time, and these particular webinars, etc., will also be added to the group. On the right hand side there, you can see announcements. So again, these are kind of key messages we want people to be aware of. So it could be a specific event. The one that's up there at the moment, you can see, is in relation to the Change Awards for next year. And that's a really good opportunity to kind of put change management and put those colleagues who work with and around that discipline in the spotlight. So it's something to be celebrated. So again, please do take a look. So across the top, you'll have the discussion area. And again, I've mentioned that before. So it may be kind of topics around a particular challenge, or about recommendations for training, courses, books, things like that. The library is the document repository. So again, you're welcome to upload your documents in there, and there should already be existing documents that you can take a look at. The blogs, admittedly, I haven't come across somebody who's a really keen blog writer yet. So if you are, please do add to that. I myself would love to be more kind of with that way of creative writing. So I probably will try going forward to see what I can do there. But it's just another way of kind of sharing our learning. Events will appear as a calendar. So you can view that in a weekly view or a monthly view. So that's really easy to go on, and then there'll be hyperlinks as to where you can register for those events. And you can also view a full list of the members within the group, which makes it really easy to kind of connect with people. You can send direct messages to them. And again, so you can start that kind of connection, network building and collaboration. And there's also a search function for you to use in there as well. We do have a recording of a webinar, I believe, which gives more of an overview about the community and the functionality within there. So please do take a look at that if you have time. But again, if you have any specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. So coming on to the specific resources then for change management, I've tried to categorize them here just to make it easier for people to find what they might be looking for. So the first one is to do with courses and online learning. The majority of these, we've tried to find free ones. We know how much kind of, purse strings are tight across the whole NHS. So anything free is a bonus. So it could be accredited courses, online courses, such as the ones on the Future Learn platform. And I'll go through these in a bit more detail. Communities, I've already mentioned our online community of practice. But there are others that exist, such as the continuous change community. And again, they're really good for connecting with people who work within other industries as well, because I think there's always things we can learn from others. It's not just kind of that tunnel vision within the NHS. Professional bodies, they always have useful information about standards, policies, frameworks, accreditations, things like that. So that's really useful. And additional resources is kind of like a bit of a catch-all. So for those that I didn't think fitted in within any of the other categories. So on here, because I thought it was limited on time, I've just put literally like 4 examples down here of the resources. But what I will make available within the kind of follow-up email that you'll all get sent after joining today's webinar is a slide deck, which goes through more of the resources that you can access. So as a way of an example, that we have the NHS Project and Change Academy programme on the e-learning for healthcare platform. So that is made up of 5 different core skills online learning modules, and one of those is an introduction to change management. So as it's in the title, it is very much introductory. It's kind of like that foundational base knowledge that you can then build on top of. But it's very good as a way of kind of introducing people who are brand new to the discipline, but also used as a bit of a refresher as well. So I like to kind of tend to refer back to that. So the language within there is quite simplified and basic. So it's great for kind of providing that simple overview that everybody is singing off the same hymn sheet. I've already mentioned the continuous change community. So there's a link there where you can join up, and that's led one by Melanie Franklin. So you may have come across her before, who is the director of Agile Change Management. So they're very good events. They run a series of webinars, tend to be on a monthly basis. So they're really interesting. As a professional body, the Change Management Institute, so that there is a fee to join that, but they also do offer kind of free resources and webinars. So if you take a look at their website, they do have an accreditation, which is great, and super good examples and videos that they have. So when you're trying within your organizations to explain the difference between change management and project management, for example, they've got some really great videos that explain that perfectly. So save you a job. And we have a specific playlist focused on change management on our YouTube channel. So there'll be a series of videos on there. So that's a collection of webinars and also the events that we've run prior on our kind of online NHS Project Futures festivals and the Compass events as well. So they're all great. What I've done, I know this is very small. I just want to take a snapshot of the other slide deck, which will be shared with you following this. And that's literally just shows you the number of resources that we can kind of signpost you to and offer that we're aware of. If you're aware of other things, please do let me know. I'm more than happy to kind of be made aware of others that we've missed off there. It kind of is one of those documents that will keep up to date as new things come in, as we're made aware of additional resources. So that's why that's quite small on there. The one thing I will mention on that is in the additional resources, there is a change management toolkit. So that was initially developed by the team who worked in the former NHS Digital. So for those who are not aware, NHS Digital has just merged with NHS England, together with Health Education England. It's a very, very, how do I say, not complex. It's it's a very advanced toolkit, I would say, but it gives you a fantastic oversight of what kind of comes within each section throughout a project. So it's like that full life cycle. The links in it are fantastic. It's backed up by tens and tens and tens of templates. So it really is useful, and you can access that on the Future NHS platform. So the link's there where you can sign up and access that, but it really is a great resource. And again, I've put the YouTube channel on that bit as well. So as part of the work that we can actually do with you as that would be wrapped up within corporate membership is something like this. So this was taken from an organisation that we're working with. They had an existing kind of hierarchical view, if you like, of people who would be involved within the change management sphere within their organisation. So you can see there that it ranged from the lowest skill level, if you like, all the way up to master practitioner. So this is also married across to our NHS Project and Change Capability Framework. You'll see something very similar within there. So if you read across the lines there, you can see the varying skill levels, and that's probably linked up to the scale of complexity of which those people would be working. So there's a short description there giving you an idea of who may slot into those kind of parameters. And then what we've done is narrowed down which particular resources that group of people would find of most benefit and of most value. So we can understand that we can send you the link for the playlist on YouTube, for example, but there's quite a lot on there. So what we've tried to do is kind of narrow that down, so you're not spending hours and hours kind of searching which ones to watch for example. So that's what's on that particular slide, which I think, well, I hope also would be very helpful for you. That's all I'm going to cover in today's presentation. Obviously, if you've got any questions, more than happy to take those. I do believe my colleagues have been posting links in the chat, which will help you and signpost you to those different resources and areas. But thank you very much, and I hope to connect with you soon.
Thank you very much, Joss. Well, thank you all for joining us, and thank you for that presentation. And like Joss said, we have got a recording of a previous session which goes into a little bit more detail about the functionality and navigating your way around. So we can potentially share that if people are interested. Okay, so if you haven't already subscribed to HPCA, we've put a link into the chat a couple of times, and that should make it easier. It means that when we've finished this session, we'll be able to give you follow-up and links and updates. We're working with various commercial organisations to bring additional benefits to our community of subscribers, and I'm happy to be able to announce that the next free community webinar, which we're going to be running, is a 90-minute taster session of some training courses that are being run through SPOS. And those are on Monday, the 27th of November, and that one is Project Fundamentals and Overview. And then on the 29th of November, there is one which is Change Management Course Overview, which is also a relevant topic based on what we've discussed today. Okay, so we will follow up after today's session, and if you're interested in registering for any of the resources and you have any difficulties, you can reach out. Just to let you know that we are launching the HPCA Hub very soon, which is the new website content, and that is inside a membership area. And those people who work in NHS organisations and are subscribed to HPCA as a client organisation will be able to access that. And we're also working on individual membership, so people will be able to sign up and get access. If you're interested in having a demonstration about that for your organisation, there's a link going into the chat for you to be able to register your interest, and then we can follow up with you afterwards. The last thing I need to mention is the HPCA conference, which is going to be on the 9th and 10th of October in Birmingham. If you'd like to get involved, we are putting together a conference committee planning group to look at the topics for workshops and also help us to gather speakers who have boots on the ground experience of delivering projects or change within the NHS. So the first meeting is taking place tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and you can register your interest in attending, or you can also register your interest in having a ticket for the conference, and a link to that will be going in the chat too. So once again, thank you all for joining us, and have a fantastic afternoon. Thank you very much.